All right, welcome. Serenity Now, Bourbon Later is the name of our podcast. We're starting right now with you guys. I'm Josh and
John.
and we are lifelong fans of Seinfeld since I was 11 and you were 7, something like that. And also big bourbon fellas. And so we just wanted to have something that we could talk to you guys with and just have a good time. If you like it, we are, of course, you might be seeing the video now. You might be hearing the audio. The video will be on YouTube. The audio will be everywhere. So if you caught our audio on Apple or Spotify or anything like that, feel free to go over to YouTube and check out the video and vice versa. We're going to be discussing an episode of Seinfeld every time. They're going to be random. It's not going to be in order. Whatever one we decide is interesting or figure you guys might like, we're going to pick out. We'll always take suggestions if you have one that you've been wanting to know some interesting facts or things about. Also, bourbon every time. Today we're going to be doing E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. I've had this one for a while, hadn't cracked it. Really excited about it. John, what were you saying earlier about cracking a new bottle?
Well, if you get the precious on the neck pour, then you win.
There you go. So this is the neck pour, and we're going to figure that out.
We haven't had the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, and we've had one bottle that the neck pour has actually impressed us. So this is enticing.
There you go. We've had the small batch, but not the actual barrel proof of it. So not an easy one to find. I've found a couple, and we're going to take care of one today. So our first episode, The Bubble Boy, season 4, episode 7, originally in 10/7/1992, October 1992. It was originally episode 7. For some reason, Netflix decided to compress 2 episodes, and we became episode 6. So if you're not super familiar with the episode or even haven't watched it in a while, maybe pause us, jump over to Netflix. Season 4, episode 6, The Bubble Boy, 20 minutes, check it out, and we're going to dive into it and give you some extra fun stuff that we kind of already knew and some things we might have discovered that are fun. So, of course, we always have Jerry's intro coming in with his jokes. We talk about a lot about how that Seinfeld does really translate up to modern times.
Yes.
But there's always little things that so Jerry's big jokes on this were about answering machines. And, my kids would have no idea what the heck we were talking about.
And I remember transitioning to the small tapes of the answering machines, and, we could dive into that later in a different episode. So
definitely.
yeah,
definitely. But the whole cell phone thing, answering machine thing comes up a lot. If they had cell phones, like so much of it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
But, they didn't. So, of course, in the first part of the episode, Naomi comes in. We haven't drank any yet. Maybe we should drink some. Want to try it?
Well, you're going to do organic on the
Huh?
Just going to do an organic first neck pour and go from there? Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So from here, we're going to go.
Sure, dude.
You want to try some of this out real quick?
Yeah.
See what we think. We're going to give you ratings at the end of every episode of the Seinfeld episode and the bourbon,
rate the episode, rate the bourbon, and tell you what we think.
Wow. Let a little of that ethanol burn off, but that's like EH to the second power. It's pretty good stuff. I like that a lot.
It has that high ethanol to it.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's like a smooth.
Right. It's not burning my nose. It's not really overpowering me. But I like it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be better as we go along, honestly, even in this little bit of time.
Neck pour. Let's see how it bottle grows.
There you go. So anyway, so Naomi, Jerry's girlfriend for just this episode, because you know how he is.
You get told you sound like you're laughing when you Elmer Fudd sitting on a juicer. It's very understandable. You're not going to be a multi-episode long-term relationship.
That's it. You're done. You got 2 minutes of screen time. That's it. Right from the jump, we're not good. And anyway, so she comes in. Of course, Janice on Friends 2 years later, same sort of thing. The annoying laugh. And what's really interesting is that Maggie Wheeler, who played Janice on Friends, she was on Seinfeld the season before in the fix-up on season 3. So that annoying laugh thing, I kind of think might have transported over from Seinfeld to Friends. Anyway, and you talked about Jerry talking about she's Elmer Fudd on a juicer.
Yeah.
Jerry being a big kid, because then we go to the next scene and he's talking about Mel, who's the Bubble Boy's dad, about his Yoo-Hoo truck and how excited he is for Yoo-Hoo and that he loves Yoo-Hoo.
Yeah, and to that, you had a great point that I didn't even know about with Mel there and his attire.
Yeah, the hat, the W73
Yeah.
hat. So Mel in that scene is wearing a hat that says W73. And I don't think I'd ever picked it up before. And I've seen this episode, 50 times probably. And I don't think I'd ever picked it up that hat actually reappears in multiple episodes. And it's a Winchester Rifles hat, which, nowadays would be a bit controversial.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just a wardrobe hat. It's just a hat. They went, hey, it'd be great if you wore a hat in this scene. So they said, hey, buddy, here you go. And he throws it on and that's it. And nobody thinks about it, but it actually reappeared, probably just popping out of wardrobe.
Yeah, and I
over
think
the years.
that there's it's so subtle too that you throw it in there, and even now you could probably get away with it. People will be okay.
It probably would. Nobody would know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant.
No,
I had no idea.
No, we look at episodes and we look at like the background. I look at like, oh, what's the hours of the shop or what have you.
Right.
But we never looked at the hat.
Nope. That's getting better. Even every little sip's getting better. I say it's still a little harsh. It's also a little early in the day for us, so we haven't, gotten it too much, and this is jumping us up a little bit. So anyway, Kramer comes in the apartment, and I had never noticed this before, and he didn't even notice it after watching it.
Yeah.
And we talked about how in multiple Seinfeld episodes that they would need something to do, so they didn't actually script like every little step, but they would need something to do, like something to come in for. And so Kramer comes in, and this needs to push the episode forward, that he hears the answering machine and hears Naomi, talking, and he says, I was going to go up to the country. You want to go?
Yeah. Yeah, the cast has always had a hard time trying to find something to do while in Jerry's apartment.
So Kramer comes in, goes to the kitchen, and he's going to grab something. And, normally he would grab food or whatever. Nope. Yeah. He grabs, I don't know if you noticed this, if you just watched it, he grabs the sink trap off the sink. That's his thing that he came to the apartment for. So I'm assuming that he just walked in, didn't see anything, and just grabbed that because that was need to move the scene forward, and then the phone goes off. So it was the sink trap.
However, when you really think about it, though, it's very Kramer-esque. I mean, he, at one point, another episode, he can't take his car because his steering wheel fell off, and it's just very cavalier as it's normal. No, don't know where it fell. So needing a sink trap or not having running water to fill up a hot tub, it's Kramer.
Very much so. And we forgot to mention in the scene with Mel's dad at the diner, he talks about if the bubble boy, is not feeling well, they give him a shot of hemoglobin. And me and John ourselves here are medical guys, and you don't get a shot of hemoglobin. That's not a thing.
But you'd leave it to they don't want to dive into how.
Like every other show, they don't care about the the medical accuracy of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So and we can attest to this because we traveled before in 2 vehicles, and John would follow me. So as they head up to the cabin, George, being a bad leader, is just always his selfishness about everything, that he doesn't care, and he's just going on with his thing, and Jerry loses him, and
he's trying to make good time, which again lays over to another episode too.
So many times
on the pickup, yeah.
So many times. So then Jerry and Elaine get to the diner, and of course it's a whole lot about the picture that they're, that they want him to sign to put on the wall. And you saw the other pictures on the wall. Did you look close enough at any of those photos on the wall to see if it was actual stars, or I didn't pay attention too much?
No, I recently watched it, meant to pause it, but no, I couldn't even see. It's very granular.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I tried to kind of see, and I couldn't see. And
yeah, early 90s.
Maybe you guys can let us know if you've watched the episode or just watched it and you saw that there were other stars. That would be kind of interesting, whoever they chose to put up there. I kind of just think maybe they threw some glamour shots up there, some random people, and didn't worry about it.
They, of course, would work better when they're at NBC for their stars. So
right. So anyway, but the whole thing is the waitress doesn't even pronounce his name correctly, but everybody's pushing him to, he's Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And we're pushing for, our picture, and we can't even pronounce the guy's name right. So yeah, I feel for Jerry. A lot of times during the series, I feel for Jerry because he's just usually, he's selfish, but he's usually just kind of a normal guy. And when people are asking things of him like this, and it's like, I understand where he'd be like, I don't want to do that.
Well, he's a comedian, but he's humble.
Yeah.
He's not in it for his ego or any arrogance or anything.
Just trying to make a buck.
Even go through, he still loves stand up.
There you go. So then, big part of the episode, we get to the Bubble Boy's house. One cool thing I didn't know that I just found out here a little while ago, John Heyman does the Bubble Boy's voice. He's would you say, a 45-year-old male?
I was like, it's just one of those, there had to be something to it, because he's a 46-year-old voice screaming and yelling, and that's the Bubble Boy. And then the parents are, 50-ish looking in the show?
I'd say so.
Yeah, and you have the Bubble Boy screaming down the stairs. What does the boy got to do? Get some meatloaf. or get some food around here. Yeah.
I get some food around here. That's exactly
Yeah.
what he says. Maybe it was meatloaf. I don't know.
No, just different movie.
Different one. Anyway, the cool thing is John Heyman also plays at the end of the series. Kind of, it's not a deleted scene, but it's like after the credits. They're in prison and Jerry's doing a set. And the prison guard, they start booing. The prison guard comes up and grabs him and says, come on. You're done. You're out of here. It's the last lines of the whole series. Same guy, John Heyman. So my assumption was in the finale, because they had Bubble Boy in the finale, he came back or whatever to do the lines for Bubble Boy from the stand. Wasn't it from the stand? When Bubble Boy on the stand in the finale?
I can't recall
He's there.
But whether it was intentional or not, I still love it for, even if it's just lazy placement of actors, because here we are now talking about it.
Yeah, and we're going to hit that a lot.
Yeah,
we're going to hit those a lot. We've got a lot. This is one double I didn't know happened, and I've never seen anybody else post. So maybe we're the first ones to, well, it was on the internet, so somebody knows about it, but maybe one of the first ones to really highlight it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, same guy. And one of the funny things about the episode is how, and it's kind of what drives the comedic part of the episode, is how much of a terror the Bubble Boy is, that he's just such a not a nice kid.
No, and that's one of the things that gets me, your first introduction, when, George and Susan are downstairs and that he's yelling downstairs, and then it continues on, and he's just not a very nice individual. Make your assumptions that you want. And then everybody in town is protective of him.
Very much so.
So, I mean, yeah, feel him out, but like he does rude guy.
So anyway, we're back to the diner, and Elaine's eating the chicken that Jerry ordered for her because she went out to get the picture and he didn't want to do it. So he says, the roasted chicken.
Broiled chicken.
Coffee. Thank you, broiled chicken. And a cup of coffee. And she's just gnawing on the chicken like, this is great chicken. And doesn't say a word. So Jerry's whole thing he's going to do to her because of the picture just completely falls flat, which is very comedic. And then we go back to the Bull Boys' house, where we play the game of Trivial Pursuit with the classic The Moops. So Bubble Boy's about to win. It's his last, and the answer is the Moors, and it's the Moops. So I have here the 1972 9th edition board game of Jeopardy. 1972. I was 9 years from this world when this came out. And so one of the writers of the show actually got the Moops from this game. So little answer card. John, if you will open up to, if you'll go to number 16, Double Jeopardy.
I want to make sure this thing doesn't fall apart as it's seen some time.
1972. Yeah.
What am I looking for again?
Number 16.
Okay.
So
16.
yeah, and down to the bottom, the Columbus category. And what do you see there at the bottom? If you can show the camera.
I hadn't seen this. This is new to me. It's just surprised me here. So
right down here, right down there, right here.
Columbus. For $100, who are the Moops?
What are the Moops? Can you show the the folks at home? Or what are the Moops?
What?
So
who are the Moops? So that's a legitimate.
Yeah. So one of the writers of the show, he actually said this last year, and I just discovered it. But he was playing this as a kid, remembered the Moops from the Jeopardy game,
and he makes it an episode.
And when he made the episode, he went, that's it. And I don't know why they changed the Trivial Pursuit. You know how with Seinfeld they had to get rights for things. Maybe Jeopardy said, no, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And Trivial Pursuit said, no problem.
Yeah, as you can see, the show progresses in its popularity. You can see a lot of product placement, though.
Yeah, this travel from 1972 right here to you guys, right there.
So I have I was just watching it recently, and I have a question for you, or your input here.
Okay.
So towards the end, right, they're Jerry's driving to the cabin.
Yeah.
And a fire truck passes them.
Yeah.
Where's the fire truck going? To the cabin? Because Jerry arrives. There's no fire truck. The cabin's burning down.
You're right. There's no fire truck. They didn't make it. You know what? Maybe they were following George to the cabin, and
well, George arrives there too. They're all watching it burn. There's no fire truck.
I don't know. They were following somebody to the cabin, and they got lost because
another question.
They didn't have the directions. Yeah.
Maybe you know this one and I don't.
Okay.
Early in the episode, when Kramer comes in with the cigar, and Jerry says, "What are you doing with that cigar? Why don't you put that out before you start another fire?"
Oh, yeah.
What was the first fire reference? Was there one?
Oh, yeah. No.
There's another episode, and I don't know where it places, but his hair catches fire.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just continuity.
To my knowledge, he hasn't burned down multiple cabins.
Maybe it's continuity. They had filmed the other, and then this, and Jerry, and they never caught. I didn't catch it. He caught it. I didn't catch it. So I think it's probably the way they film it. Because, I mean, as you guys know, movies, TV, they don't film them in order. They film what makes sense, right? We're on the soundstage. Let's get all the soundstage stuff done. We got to go out to the woods for this. Let's go out to the woods and film that. So maybe they went to the woods and filmed the cabin scenes first, and then we're back on the soundstage filming the other stuff. And Jerry just said, you got to start another fire because he'd already started the fire. Maybe it's completely inconsequential, but I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So two great things about when we get to the burning cabin. George and Kramer really reveal big things about their character because George Cabin, Susan's father, burns. Like, you think this is, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Nope. You didn't give me the change from the tolls.
Yeah. George's character.
Was it $2? You didn't give me the change from the tolls.
Yeah.
And Kramer, of course, comes behind with Naomi and cigars. My cigars! Doesn't care about the cabin, just wants his cigars.
But then what were you planning on doing? Running into a burning cabin
to get cigars,
which are obviously one of the first things.
And I mean,
on fire.
You know, the view we see of the cabin is an inferno. So the actors didn't, of course, the cabin is not actually on fire. They don't see it. But I mean, we see a massive inferno. He wouldn't have got 10 feet from that cabin. No, it'd have been thousands of degrees. But that's Kramer. I got to go get my cigars. And of course, we close with Jerry doing a set. And one good thing about I think we talked about earlier, is how relevant Jerry's jokes are, a lot of them. This one he's talking about, he's got a cigarette, his fire in his hand, and how much he just, that's like a big thing. And of course, he talks about the cigar and the chewed up nub. But, same thing. Anybody smoking now, it's like, I got fire in my hand. I'm powerful. So every episode, we're going to bring to you an episode score for the episode we watched, and also the score of the bourbon. What do you think? I think it got better as I went.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those you have first sip and then, it's going to smooth out because you've been drinking. But it's not like we've had multiple glasses. I'm more interested when you drink it another day, let it sit for a while.
Yeah, for sure. But of course, you guys won't be here for that. So we're going to give you the score now.
Revisits. I don't know.
You know what? That's honestly a great idea. And we want to be a community. We want you guys to come in and, say, hey, I think this would be really cool if you did this, or we like this episode, or, this bourbon or whatever. I mean, both of us have a lot of bourbon. We have some planned, but definitely down the road, we've got some other opportunity for things. Plus, luckily, we're coming to you today from the same place. This is a rarity. Myself, I'm still on the road working. We happen to be together today. So episode 1 coming together. Most of the time, we're going to be split screened out and coming remotely. But we thought this would be a good time to do episode 1 and hanging out together. And so we're actually in a vacation house in Orlando. Kids are out playing mini golf for a little bit with the wives, and we've just been having a great time. So we just want to have fun with it.
So after having just tried it again, it had a lot more heat than the first time.
You think so?
A lot more than I expected.
Okay.
I mean, it is, like you said, E.H. Taylor, squared, because it,
right.
I mean, I wish it had a little bit more to it. I guess I was expecting a little bit more flavor.
There you go.
Like a multi-layer profile, like, something else within the Buffalo Trace organization.
I'm not finding the buttered popcorn nose that I tend to find off the small batch when it's been open a while.
I've never had that for any of but that's just me. I've never had it.
I mean, that's the great thing is all your palates are different. And so that's one thing we want to bring you is 2 people.
I remember buying each for $29 thinking, I'm not good for that. But now they want $100 for it. Nah.
Well, small batch at the distillery, $40, maybe $50, probably $50. This one, I won't tell you what I paid for it, but it's quite a bit more than $50. I think SRP on these is about $100 when you can find them. You're not going to find it for $100 too often. I didn't do a whole lot more than that, but it was a new bottle that I wanted to try out. So we're going to bring you tons of different bourbons. Some of our episodes may tilt more talking about bourbon because we like it a lot.
And so by all means, like Josh is saying, community-wise, if you have a suggestion, maybe we have it in our repertoire or, in our bourbon cellars. If you want, if you're interested.
Our Florida bourbon cellars.
When we were
down in the basement. Yeah.
At one point we were hunting for some bourbon. So
how many, remember that day in Massachusetts where we had the day off and just how many stores did we hit?
I think we hit 18. More than that? What, 22?
21.
21.
21. How many bottles did we buy that day?
Ooh.
Like
Two?
Two.
Two, yeah. And
You got a rosé, Penelope Rosé, which is coming up. Actually, that's one I like a lot. That one's going to be coming up on a episode not too far from now. And we went to the other store, the last one where I went in. I think did I get an E.H. Taylor small batch out of there? I think I did.
don't ask me to remember anything.
Right. This guy's memory is not the best. Mine as I get older is not as good, but yeah, I believe I got a small batch out of that. So anyway, we'll wrap it up. Score based on what you had right now.
Right,
It's
so-
going to be a 0 to 10, 10 being the best. Bourbons are going to be really tough to get up there because we've had some good ones in the past.
So Seinfeld first. Go ahead and
You want
rate
to do
the
Seinfeld
episode.
first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's do Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
Bubble Boy has got some good moments. There's some good riffs from George and Jerry about the flavors of pie, boysenberry, raspberry, and then peach. I like a lot of the lines. The content of the episode is not my favorite. There are things I remember, and if you ask me to name 20 episodes of Seinfeld, it will probably come up, but not necessarily because it's one of the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go a good bit above average, but definitely still average. I'm going to go with a 7-1. 7-1 on the Bubble Boy.
Okay, that's near right what I was going to do too. I mean, this is completely organic.
We have not set our ratings at all. This
Nope.
is completely our own.
On the bourbon or the Seinfeld, we haven't discussed it because we wanted everything to be organic. I think with this episode, again, one of the popular ones. There are some riffs. I do like what you're saying with the pie flavors. But to me, the entire episode where you mashing up the stories between all the characters, it seems a little bit forced.
Yep.
Again, and also, the aggravation of the Bubble Boy character himself. I'd say 7-2. 7-2, but that's
perfect. So we're going to be bringing some lists. One of the lists is things that pop up in episodes. So of course we have the W73 hat. This is the first appearance, and eventually I'll have those lists that will pop up and we'll say where we found it before. So we're definitely going to bring you lists of top bourbons and episodes, and of course today this is our first episode, so we had a 7-1, a 7-2, so we're a 7-1-5 on your E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, being our number one bourbon that we have had on the podcast here.
So that's the Seinfeld. Now what's the bourbon?
Oh, you're right. 7-1-5 was
That's
sorry.
the
7-1-5 was the I've had a little bourbon, so I might be slipping. 7-1-5 was the rating for Seinfeld. This is you do this one first.
Okay.
Since I did that one first.
So we are very similar. We both like weeded bourbons.
Which this is not.
No, but we
It's
do
actually
like
pretty
weeded bourbons.
spicy.
We have the same flavor profile. I think this is where you and I might delineate a little bit. I'm gonna
Find
go because it's got some heat to it. Doesn't have a multi-layer profile. Say
Right.
like again, like I said, something else that we will cover in the podcast. Within the Buffalo Trace cellar is
for sure.
I'm gonna go with like 6-4.
Wow.
6-4.
Wow.
I mean,
You're gonna hurt some people with that one.
well, come at me, but you also got to think what you got to pay for it too. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah, I mean, if you find this at the distillery, it's $100. It's a $100 bottle, which for a lot of people that's very heavy. I have spent, not regrettably, but I have spent quite much more than that on a couple bottles. And I spent more than that on this one. Being a neck pour, like you said, if you impress with a neck pour, maybe we didn't quite hit that level of impressed with a neck pour. There have been a couple that I've had that, I think a little harshness will fall off. So the nose is really lacking to me because of the bit of the ethanol harshness. Now, if you open a basic $20 bottle, like the harshness really hits you.
Well,
And it's not that bad.
You got to go with. Are you up against a $40? Would you drink something for $40 more than this kind of thing? We're also drinking it neat, by the way.
At this point, there are $40 bottles that I would drink ahead of this. I don't want to crap all over it because I still like it. But it's so early in the bottle. So maybe we will talk about in the future. Maybe we'll have a future pour this and come back to you and let you know, hey, it opened up. It's so much better. What was you, 6'8"? What were you?
Again, don't ask me to remember anything, but 6'4".
6'4". I think that's what it was. You guys will know. I don't remember either. I am going to go with 6'9". I'm gonna keep it under the 7 as well. I feel like we got a lot of room up. I think it's great. It's definitely better than the small batch. Small batch I would probably put right solid 5. Very average. I like small batch, but it's very average bourbon for me. So we have a 6'4" and a 6'8". No, 6'4", 6'9". What did I just say? I don't remember.
You tell us. But that's well, that's the other thing. By all means, let us know if you're interested in like a full bourbon episode. If you you want to us to measure this, or just go into our favorites, top 10 list, etc.
Great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of fluidity.
We can do
here.
a lot of things. We're doing both, so we love both, and we talk about both all the time. This is just pretty much us, how we've been for years.
Yeah.
If we have a telephone conversation, there's probably a Seinfeld episode, and there's probably bourbon that gets talked about.
Life can be referenced. I Seinfeld.
Yes, and I've been doing it for a
Yeah.
long time. So, anyway, 6'4" and 6'9", I believe, is what we decided. So we're going to weigh 6'5" on the H. Taylor. So number one currently on the bourbon list. I have a feeling that it will not take too long to be dethroned, and I would like to come back to it later and maybe up it.
That's another idea too. Making a list, just
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, they're gonna be lists.
Yeah.
They're gonna be lists. You guys love
Top
lists.
one, yeah.
You gotta love lists. They're gonna be lists. It's part of society now as a top.
I mean, you have a favorite. I have a favorite. We certainly have those, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes.
score wise. Let's go with that.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that about wraps it up for today. We're gonna be coming at you guys about once a week with an episode, talking about an episode of Seinfeld and drinking a bottle of bourbon and seeing how we like it. Like I said, if you're listening to the audio right now, you definitely can come over to YouTube. We'll take all the follows and likes and comments you can give us. We're not begging for stuff. We just want to have fun. So if you guys think this is fun, please, come join us on all the podcast platforms. Like I said, if you're watching us on YouTube, feel free to go over to Apple, Spotify, any of those, and give us a like and a follow. It'll help us out a lot. Just to get to other people who might be like us, who like Seinfeld and bourbon and just want to sit around and talk about it and learn some interesting facts like
new to me. But by all means, don't take it too serious either. I mean, if you're a Seinfeld fan, you're not taking life too serious.
We're just having a good time. So, John.
Yep.
And I'm Josh. Serenity Now, Bourbon Later, Seinfeld and Whiskey podcast, and we will see you guys next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.